wouldn't be betrayed by these people. It was.
No, I was saying that I used to be part of the British.
Well, maybe not, but like.
Feeling
I mean,
that now because of what
But either way, we want
And I think that's the feeling that a lot of people, I think that's what brought the Palestine movement to such like a big expression of the anger, because I mean, you know, like I'm from Palestine. Like I think a lot of people also know what's happening in Palestine for a long time, and it's not the first war that's happened in Gaza. Obviously, it's like the most extreme one. But like at that point when it started, people were already so angry at the British government, the Tories and now the Labour, and even in Scotland the SNP are not doing it. They're like paying a lot of lip service because they're not in power right now, but they're actually not doing much to do anything, right? But like, yeah, it's that anger at, okay, my public money is going to fund this genocide, and at the same time, I'm being cut, like disability cuts, you know, winter fuel cuts, all of these things that really made people angry. But like, you know, look at the NHS and education; it's been being cut for ages.
It's the constant cuts and like investing.
Exactly, and why? It's because there's few people who really own all the wealth in society. All of this money that we have is sitting in the banks. And these people are making the decisions based on what works for them, what makes them profit. And actually, it's also another part of the reason why there's no growth in the economy, because the government is doing everything to incentivize investment. But capitalists don't invest because you give them zero interest rates or whatever. They invest because they know they will get some profit. And right now, what gets them profit is just going into the stock market and putting money there and speculation. And that's what's happened to Britain, obviously. The deindustrialization of Britain has completely like messed up the economy, and it's also made people, a lot of the people that are angry at the system and going to a point, some of them going to the point of voting for reform, are from towns and places that have been deindustrialized and there's nothing going on there, and their life has been shit for decades. And now they're like, okay, well, no government is doing anything. At least these new guys are saying something.
Something different and doing something different.
And they're talking to the working class.
That's how I can see like they're using the anger at something that has been stagnant and like working against people for so long. And I don't know, is there like a strong change on the other side? I would like.
Well, I think what we would say is that in order to have any kind of change, you need to organize. We need to be a big force, and this is mainly what we're trying to do right now, because our party is still small to be able to have any kind of influence, like a big influence on events. I don't know if you know Fiona Lally. She became famous because she was on TV debating Suella Braverman, and she kind of like completely like wiped the floor with her. She became very popular, and she stood in a constituency in London for the last general election. Obviously she didn't win, but otherwise would be like a lot bigger. But she got like 1,700 votes, which is 10% of the vote, on an openly communist program. Like she wasn't trying to hide who she is, and I think that's like people actually are yearning for these ideas, right? But the problem is, you need like an organized force. You need a lot of people that are able to stand and speak to people and convince them. And that's what we're really building. And I think once you have that, because revolutions will happen, whether we kind of decide or not. We're not trying to start a revolution. Revolutions will happen, and we've seen it happen all the time. But we want to be prepared for when a revolution happens. What we want to do is when people are on the street, are angry, to say to them, okay, you know what we should do is go on a general strike, or we have the power to actually decide what happens in the economy and where our money goes, basically, and where our value goes. And I think, you know, a lot of people will agree with that. Even now, maybe they won't go all the way to communism, but I think with the way that like society is going, a lot of them are going to be being pushed further and further left, and we're here for it. So we're here for it.